Welcome everybody to round number 13 of 30 for the 2023 NSCA Cup Series season. I just spent the last 45 minutes recording this race when I realized I did not have my microphone turned on. So this is take number 2. I've kept the same starting order, of course, because, I'm in the race anyway. Why not? Anyway, so it's going to be Hunter Kira on pole alongside Jacob Crago, who won last time out. We were at New Jersey. Dylan Maddox with a surprising third place starting position. Ray Takita in fourth. Then you have Willard, English, Heflin, Nomina, Blade Runner, Reinhardt, the top 10. So 120 laps, as you can see down there on the bottom below the replay window there. And we're expecting the pit stop just past the halfway point. So as we get set to go racing here, Nashville Superspeedway. They opted for the more short track style track or aero package here with a short spoiler. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Green flag is out, by the way. Willard with a very slow getaway, but Kiro and Maddox with good getaways here. In fact, Kiro is going to get around the 59 to start this off. Also, surprise, brand new ticker for this season. Well, not just this season, but for just in general. As Kiro leads Maddox, Willard, Heflin, and Crago at the line. They are 3 by 3 by 3. Anyways, the race that I was doing was a pretty damn good race as well. So hopefully this, well, not a damn good race, but there was racing more so than there was the last couple of races. So hopefully this should be a better race, as now it is English into 5th. And Lana Keschel into 6th. Here comes Richards trying to take 7th away from Crago. So already different drivers running up near the front here. So we still, almost had trouble in the back. Who was that? Was that Jason Williams? It was. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that real quick again here. So it looks like bit of contact between the 57 and 15, just about caused the 15 to be sent to the infield grass. And now Williams is starting to fall back a little bit as a result of that. Crago is now falling outside the top 10. Kiro continues to lead. Maddox second. Heflin third. Willard, English, and Lana Keschel, your top 6. They have a little bit of separation back to Echo Evans Ross, who won at Homestead earlier this season. And then you have Crown Jr. in 7th. You have Lamas in 8th, although he's looking to the inside of 37 here. Or excuse me, Lamas is 9th, and then the 99 Montoya in 10th. Although that isn't going to be for long. Here comes Montoya to the inside of Crown Jr. for that 9th position. Crago's fallen all the way back to 11th at the start here, as Heflin gets around Maddox for 2nd, and now here comes English to try and take that 3rd spot away from the 59. And here comes Crago trying to get back into the top 10 on Crown Jr. Sparks is in 12th. Hancock in 13th. Merzlak 14th. Goforth running out the top 15. So everybody's scrambling for position early on in this going. Maddox starting now to fall further and further back. He's already lost an additional 2 spots since we last mentioned him just a lap ago. Two historic car numbers now side by side. Lamas in the 48, Evans Ross in the 43. Of course, 43 returning to the track this season, with Parsley Enterprises buying out Factory Dodge Autosports operations. Team wasn't expecting much going into this season, and yet they already have a win with a rookie driver. Of course, Lamas now takes that spot away from Evans Ross. I believe we saw up front. Yep, we saw it just out the corner of the camera's eye there. English is now in second, so it's Ford, Dodge, Toyota, Chevrolet, the top 5. It goes to show you just why Ford is the 4-time defending manufacturer's champion. They are overpowered, please nerf, says the guy who has the power to nerf Ford. Lamas now side by side with Maddox. And Montoya's gotten around Evans Ross as well. Meanwhile, Heflin trying to take back second place away from English. Will do so off of turn 2. Does the 23 of Alana Keshiel take advantage of that? No, she stays in line. Anyway, but yeah, going back to the ticker for a moment. So as you guys can see from this nice little Fox era style ticker from 2011 to 2013, I decided, as we see, English now retakes second from Heflin. A nice little battle here in the top 5 as we see Willard trying to get around the 23 car of Keshiel. Anyways, but I want to do something different, and I was originally going to save the 2020, or this ticker, the Fox ticker, for 2024, but figured, you know what, nah, I'm putting in the work into it now, I might as well go ahead and use it, so we're going to go ahead and use it. Also done a couple of changes to how the ticker is displayed. Obviously, you can see that instead of just the driver name being printed manually by GNL-TV, it's now part of the number image. Unfortunately, I've not figured out how to get the position number to be centered. Still working on that. But I'll hopefully figure that out at some point. As we see Lamas now side by side with his teammate, Mikey Willard, in the 24 there. Heflin once again retaking second from English. A couple things to note as well. Rookie drivers will have their name in yellow, as you can see with O'Quinn and Reinhardt, for example. So rookies will be highlighted in yellow, so we don't have to put the little R in parentheses or add some sort of other denomination, although that might change next year. It's all trial and error, folks. It's all trial and error. As it looks like Jason Williams really off pace here, down to cylinder by the seams of it and the sounds of it. Although, to be fair, when I did this race the first time, that was also the case, so very unusual. And yeah, you could definitely hear it. It was down a cylinder from this as he entered turn 1 there. So, and I think it was around lap 35, 40, somewhere around there when he lapped him the first time I did this. I know it shouldn't metagame, stuff here. English is actually falling outside the top 5 here. And Lamas is now going for second on the 13 of Heflin. And we'll take that spot. English back into the top 5. Gets back around the 23 of Keshiel. Something Willard apparently has not been able to do, or has done, but then had backfire on him. Meanwhile, Tyler Blade Runner's kicked it up a notch. He's into the top 10, I believe, maybe? Yes, he is his 10th at the moment. I had to count real quick to double check. See Evans Ross trying to fight for the 9th position, but it's going to lose out here. Might fall outside the top 10 with Maddox and Crago right behind her. So see Hancock take 8th away from Willard. Yep, here comes Maddox now, side by side with the 43 for that 10th position. So already this race playing out a lot different than the first iteration. English and Montoya were not in the top 10 this early in the going. Crago was fighting for the lead, as was Heflin, Lamas, and Kiro, although that part has not changed. English fell back and then had to work his way back up to the front. And yeah, I had realized about lap 80 that my mic wasn't even recording. I was like, wait, what? And I was like, oh, it's not on. So this is round number 2. And you know what? It's different. It's fresh. Sure, there's familiarities about it. As for the lead, here comes Lamas on Hunter Kiro now. Of course, Lamas back 76 points to Kiro in the driver's standings. And now here comes Heflin to try and get to the 92 as well. Of course, the more people in between Lamas and Kiro, the more points Lamas gains on Hunter. So if Lamas really wants to get that 5th championship and get back-to-back championships, it's going to need a lot of help from a lot of different people here. As we see Craig under fire from Echo Evans Ross further back. I think that's just outside the top 10, though. This week, Kiro looking to the inside of Heflin for 2nd as they come off turn 2. Of course, it was just announced earlier this week going into the Nashville Superspeedway weekend. Chevrolet switching away from the Camaro to the Monte Carlo. With the Camaro being rebadged as a brand new vehicle, Chevrolet is bringing back the Monte Carlo on the old Camaro platform. So the body style won't change, but the badging will. Of course, rumors are circulating that that Ford's going to bring their new Dark Horse Mustang variant into the Cup Series next year, replacing this version, which effectively will only be used for this year. Meanwhile, Dodge has confirmed they're sticking with the Charger, as is Toyota with the Supra. Pontiac is going to stick with the Trans Am they currently have. Mercedes is going to bring a facelift to their model, but otherwise will be using the same car that they're using this year as well. I say that contextually for when this race is supposed to be taking place, not in December 2023 when it's actually taking place. If I recall correctly, this race is supposed to be taking place in around the same time in real life that the Nashville race took place for the NASCAR Cup Series. Anyways, I've been focusing on the tail end of the field too much. So, let's see. Jason Williams is coming across the line now. The field's going through turn 3 and 4, so yeah. Yeah, Jason Williams about quarter of a lap away from going a lap down. Merzlak running last on track with those that aren't down any cylinders. So not good for that 4 team. Because Merzlak Racing really in desperate need for points. Of course, we know Blade Runner's running in the top 10. Looks like Alana Kiro, mid-teens? We'll have to see here as the ticker scrolls. I did take away the intervals as well for the ticker. Yeah, 16th for Alana Kiro, so. Although she is under fire from Theodore Keen. Of course, it was announced earlier this week as well that McLaren is selling its NSCA team after only 3 years in the Cup Series, which was some interesting news. Also, developments in the top 5. Lamas is still leading, but now English is second. Hancock is third. Hunter Kiro has fallen to fourth, while the 13th Heflin's back to fifth. Montecasio still sixth. Montoya seventh. Willard eighth. Blade Runner ninth. And Craigo's passing Echo Evans Ross for 10th. Will we see our third different leader of the day? English is trying to make a move on Lamas, while at the same time, Hancock's trying to make a move on English. Will English get the run here going into turn 3? He's forcing the issue, but not quite. Of course, Lamas, very surprising, he does not have a win yet this season. He's come close several times, but either has had been passed in the last lap, such as in Charlotte, with William Sparks taking that win. So see English and Hancock getting around the 48. Or just has not had the speed to run up at the front. But Lamas is still second in points going into this race, and will more than likely be still second in points coming out of it. Of course, unless Hunter Kiro has like a catastrophic engine failure or wrecks out early in the going here. Speaking of William Sparks, he's only 8 points back from Lamas going into this race as well, so he's definitely going to lose out on that, considering Sparks is outside the top 10 at the moment. In fact, he's running 13th according to the ticker. As the field is getting more and more spread out. Merzak now running 35th. So we're about a little over midway through this run. Of course, pit stops will always switch things up. Of course, when I did pit stops in the first attempt of this race, I saw people who were well outside the top 10 fighting for the lead, basically, because of how great their pit stops were. So, Hancock getting back around Lamas, actually, because Lamas was behind Hancock the last time we looked. So, top 4 really scrapping it out here. As now here comes Kiro trying to get to the inside of Lamas, and Will. Hancock's looking to go for the lead here, though. Of course, Hancock really needs it. He is currently sitting in, 15th in points. So, not a terrible season for that 3 team, contextually. So we see Kiro get back around the 6th English, a little further back. Yeah, some drivers that really need good runs that are actually currently having good runs. You have Montoya. He is back in 31st in points going into this race. 5 points back from Darren Armstrong. He is in the top 10 currently. You have Tyler Blade Runner, 18th in points. And he's currently in the top 10 as well. Lana Cashiel, 12th in points. Doesn't really need a good run, but it's always nice to have those. Sean English was into this race in 6th in points. Of course, you have Heflin in the top 5. Craigo's in the top 5. In fact, let's look at some drivers who are actually in the top 10 points who really can't afford to have a bad run. You have Ryan Vaughn, who's outside the top 30. He's 31st right now, according to the game. You have Theodore Keene, who's running just outside the top 10. In fact, he's running kind of in the back half of the top 20 right now. Not necessarily where he wants to be. Dylan Maddox has slipped back. I don't know where that is. We see the leaders approaching the 15 of Williams. Actually, Maddox is just outside the top 10. He's 11th right now as they come across the line. So, never mind. He is having a good run. Ian Wallace, we saw towards the back end of the field here. In fact, he's just ahead of Merzlak in 33rd. So he really does not need a bad run, and he's currently having a bad run. Well, he sits 11th in points. Alana Keshiel is having a good run right now, and she's 12th in points, like I said. Echo Evans Ross, pretty good run right now. Calvin Richards needs a good run, as we see Hancock lapping the 15. As Richards is not great. And here comes Lamas now, trying to get to the lead. Hancock engages him at the line. Lamas will clear the 3 off of turn number 2. Smooth car 48 back to the lead. It is interesting, though, how the top 10 is pretty much all pretty more or less stuck together, especially like the top 5 or 6 or even 7 drivers. Hancock now looks to retake the lead coming off turn 4 with a run. I think Lamas edged him at the line, though. Montoya up to 4th now with a move against Heflin. So pretty good run for that team thus far. See now Hunter Kiro trying to get back around the 48 of Cody Lamas now as they head into turn 3. Lamas is not giving it up easily. They're still side by side as they come off the corner. Kiro has it at the line though. Now here comes Montoya. Is going to try and sneak by for 3rd. And looks like he's going to take it now. Here comes Heflin now to the inside. He's going to try and kick Lamas back to the 5th and in danger of falling outside the top 5. Hancock really trying to keep the 92 behind him here. We're a little under 20 laps away from pit stops and a little over 10 laps away from halfway. Miles now beginning a bit of a recovery now as he's now back to the inside of Heflin for 4th. Montoya now trying to get around Hunter Kiro. and will take second place away. So great run by William Montoya so far today. Hunter Kiro back to third. Lamas in fourth. Here comes English to get back into the top five. Willard's going to try and take sixth away from 13 while he's at it. And maybe Crago's going to try and sneak by for seventh. And he will. Heflin can then sit back and take a breather and chill in eighth because there's still a gap back to Blade Runner in ninth. And then you have Keshiel rounding out the top 10. This looks like the top 8 have really driven away from the rest of the field here. So we see a battle for 11th. Interestingly, though, Jason Williams has not been lapped by everybody as of yet. This time, in the previous attempt of the race, he was. So it's been interesting that actually. Ooh, and Hancock's now being passed by Montoya and Hunter Kiro for the lead. So that now makes five different leaders this race, as English now takes fourth away from Cody Lamas, and maybe following his fellow Fords to make it a Ford podium, and will. So it's now Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Pontiac, the top 8, with the Toyota, or top 9, with the Toyota running out the top 10. And of course, as I say that, Craig gets around Lewis. And Kiro gets around Montoya, who's now passed by English. And now here comes Hancock looking to the inside with Willard looking to the inside of him. Willard backs out of it. Montoya had the edge over Hancock at the line. But that doesn't mean Hancock doesn't clear the 99 going through turns 1 and 2. Here comes Willard now, not able to clear the 99 off of turn number 2, but he will going into turn 3, no doubt. Lamas now trying to get back around Crago for that 6th position. Later on, it's gone around Heflin for 8th, by the way. So it's now Hunter Kiro, Sean English, Brandon Hancock, Mike Willard, and Montoya. Now here comes English trying to make a move on the 92 of Hunter Kiro. And will. Here comes Hancock now to the quarter panel of the 92. Just about making contact there off of turn number 2. Can Willard try and get to the 92? Not quite. At least not yet. Looks like Hero's still trying to fight around the outside of the 3, although that's going to allow Montoya to take a peek to the inside of the 24 as we are getting ever so closer to halfway here. Just a few more laps. Here comes Kiro. Can move to the inside of Hancock for second. Lamas is trying to get back into the top 5. Literally everybody in the top 10 is fighting for positions is just driven away from everybody else. Maddox leads 11th on, from 11th on back in a train of cars, and then everybody's kind of just spread out from there. And can confirm Williams is now officially a lap down to everybody on track. So now English to Kiro to Lamas and then Hancock, as Lamas is going to make the move to the inside here with Willard right behind. Heflin back up to 6th, Montoya back to 7th, Krigo in 8th, Cashiel in 9th, and then Blade Runner in 10th. Now Hancock might be in danger of falling outside the top 5 here as Willard gets around him, Heflin's next to him, and 99 is right behind him. Now Lam is trying to get to the inside of Kiro for second. As we will be halfway at the line. Kiro side by side with Lamas now. So we're past the halfway mark, and looks like the pit stops are all starting here. English, Kiro, Hancock. Looks like a lot of Kiro as well. Looks like both Bledsoe Racing drivers. Yep, Bledsoe Brothers drivers. Steven Merzlak, Ricky Freeman Jr. The 84. Now Lamas brings down a majority of the rest of the top 10, plus some drivers outside of it. Willard and Cashiel remains on track, as does Theodore King, the Maddox, Evans Ross, Plaxico, Nomina. And that looks like only two drivers staying out this time by are Kenningberg and Henson Jr. There's Lamas off of pit road first, followed by Heflin and Krago. Ooh, but it's going to be close to see who gets the lead. And English by a fair margin over Lamas, who's going to have a bit of a lead over Kiro. So let's see Kenningberg and Henson Jr. come down. It looks like Henson Jr. is going to lead the lap, though, as Kenningberg's pit stall is before the start and finish line. So this is the race for the top 10, effectively right here. We got English out in front. We got Lamas, then Hunter Kiro, then Hancock, Heflin, rounding out the top 5. Then you got the 24, 23, 62, 99, and 98 rounding out the top 10. Lana Kiro is now on the verge of cracking that top 10 along with the 77 being just out of it. Looks like with that pit stop cycle, looks like Merzlik is also cycled out ahead of a good chunk of drivers too, so it's good for him at least. Especially considering how I was mentioning earlier how he was well outside the top 30. And looks like going that extra lap to not help the 82 or 5 because they are like 30th or worse at the moment. Kiro now ahead of Lamas for second place. I don't see anybody trapped on pit road because that happened last race. Here comes Hancock now trying to take third. And will. So now it's just a matter of can anyone chase down Sean English. Of course, Sean won the All-Star race. Has had actually a lot better of a season than I've been making it out to be the last few races as we come around to complete lap 69. Nice. Hancock now trying to take second away from Hunter. Anyways, but Sean English, I don't believe has a points victory at all so far this season. No, he doesn't. In fact, of the 12 races, he only has 5 top 10s, so it'd be big for him to finally get into a victory here. Of course, even bigger would be if Cody Lamas were to get a victory, considering how many times he's been the bridesmaid so far this season. Of course, the most notable example I can think of that coming to mind immediately is Charlotte, where it was literally a last lap pass made on him by William Sparks, getting his first career win in the Cup Series and first career win with Team Penske. Ryan Vaughn, of course, also within top 20 now. A move he needed to have been made via the pit stops, especially considering the fact that he's just barely in the top 10 and finishing outside the top 20 would not have been great for him. Or inside the top 10 in points, I should specify. Same thing with Merzlik, although Merzlik I think is actually just a little bit further back. I'll have to double check again here in a few moments when I get the opportunity to. I do believe Jason Williams might be lapped again here. And I believe Lom is catching the 6. I do believe English might have a long run car. Of course, that was the case here in the first attempt at this race. Of course, in that attempt, I also had at least a few more leaders at the time, but English also was a lot further back in the field before getting back up to the front. By the time pit stop started, and he had a little bit of a larger lead after the pit stop cycle in the first attempt here, or then rather than he did here. Also, did that sign say Nash car? What the hell? Oh, English has an issue! English has an issue! Sean English comes down pit road once again! That gives the lead to Hancock. It looks like there's a tire issue on the 6. So that moves Crago the 4th, Heflin the 5th, Keshiel the 6th. Now here comes Lamas trying to take the lead away from the 3 of Hancock. Was it a loose wheel? Was it a tire going down? We'll never know. All it does is just say tire, and I think the team changed 4 tires on that stop too. So English might be a lap down here. We'll have to see as Hancock now trying to retake the lead from Lamas here. What a shocking turn of events. Just 10 laps after pit stops too. Krieger up to 4th. Then you have Lana Keschel 5th. Tyler Brenner 6th. 13 in 8th. Although he is under fire from Willard, and Willard is going to get around him here. Let's make that Heflin in 9th, and then Bishop 10th. And Alana Kiro in 11th, and then Montoya in 12th. Now as Hancock drives away from the 48 Llamas, Hunter Kiro's now looking to try and take second away. So yeah, this is definitely not what English wanted. In fact, if I were to take a look real quick, English is in fact 1 lap down. The field is going to catch Jason Williams here. Probably within the next lap or two. Let's see Willard get around the 77. Now here comes Keschel trying to make a move around Crago for 4th. The field catches Williams. But Williams not willing to give him a second lap, unlike a first lap. Hancock, though, is going to find a way around the 15. Lamas now also going to do so. Looks like Keschel's just shoving the 92 down the front straightaway here as they go into turn 1. Just under 40 to go here at Nashville. So Lana Keschel is now going to try and take 3rd from Hunter Kiro. That is something Cody Lamas really wants to see. Now here comes Crago. Good old Cola Wars. Coke versus Pepsi. Coke is better that way. That's why I have it as a sponsor. In the league, that is not in real life. Although Coke, again, my email is open. Coke, if you actually want to sponsor me, call me, please. I need the money. Alright, anyways, no, but seriously, so Hancock now has 3 going on 4 very fast race cars behind him. One last fast race car to deal with. Lana Keschel's not content with just running 3rd, though. She wants 2nd, and maybe even the lead. Well, of course she's going to want the lead, but she's taking 2nd away from Cody Lamas, which is not what Cody wants to see, considering he has a pack of 100 cars behind him, although he does have his teammate getting passed by the 77. It creates just a little bit of a gap. Ooh. Willard and Plater look to be practically bouncing off of each other. Crago now is trying to get to Keschel. will take second place. And here comes Craigo for the lead. Cashel's going to try and follow him, retake second place, this time from Hancock. Lamas still in fourth. Still has quite a number of cars between him and Hunter Kiro. That might become one more car here. He practically bangs doors with the 3 car. Coming across the line, Lamas does have third at the line, but here comes Alana Keshel now for the lead. Red Bull Racing's had quite a journey since their return to the Cup Series action a few years ago. Haven't really been that strong of a team, to be honest, but if they can get the win today, boy, would that be big for them. And with their star driver, too, who's been with the team since they came back. And the team downsized to 1 car for the 2022 season. Try and help, shove all the resources to 1 car. Trying to be ergonomic, but that, of course, we see Craigo now trying to retake the lead. And will. So it'll be big for Red Bull if they can get the win today. It'll be big for Lionheart Racing if the 3 of Hancock can get the win today. It'll be big for Lamas if he can get the win for today. Or win today. As Willard just about wrecks his teammate going into turn 3 here. He wants to take the spot. It's for less than 30 to go, by the way. I just noticed. Hancock now side by side with the 23 for that second position and will take it. As Lamas continues to lose spots, he's actually outside the top 5. He's going to have Kiro right behind him. That's not what Lamas wants if he wants to gain anything substantial on the 92 for the points lead. And up front, here comes Hancock for the lead. Now, Lana Keshel trying to keep Willard behind her and also get around Craigo, and she will here, at the very least through 1 and 2 this time by. Willard really has a fast car underneath him as well. Craigo back to 4th. So it's now Hancock, Keshel, Willard, the top 3. You have Heflin in 5th. Blade Runner 6th. Lamas back to 7th. Kiro's still been chilling in 8th this entire time since he got passed by this entire group of cars. Then you have Bishop in 9th and the other Kiro, Alana, in 10th. Now Keshel's in the lead. Here comes Willard trying to get around the 3 of Hancock. Craigo's going to try and retake a podium spot as well. Craigo trying to get to the inside of the 24 as well, but Willard throws the block down the front straightaway. Approaching 20 to go here. It's Craigo now to the inside of the 24, coming off turn 2. Willard was cleared there as he got the drive off the corner, but Craigo's going to set it in to turn 3 here. That might allow Hancock to get back into 3rd. And yes, he will. As he now side by side with the 24, practically baiting doors here. In fact, Hancock's going to actually take 3rd before they even get to the line. Now here comes Craigo to the inside of Keshel for the lead. Ooh, and here comes Hancock. He's going to throw it 3 wide, going into turn 3. making the move, and that is going to be a 2-4-1 deal. He saw the opening and said, "Thank you very much. I'm going to take that." And now he is leading once again. But here comes Craig to the inside and Willard to the inside. Side by side for second with Hancock right ahead of them. Heflin's going to take advantage of all this chaos to take fourth away from Keshiel. Hancock continues to lead. Willard in second. Crago third. Will Heflin go for third, though? He will. Willard, meanwhile, looking to take the lead away from Hancock as they come to the line. Hancock still leads, but it's going to be Willard with the advantage here. Now Willard to the lead. Here comes Heflin trying to take second from Hancock. Along Keshiel now. Side by side with the 3 for third. Tyler Blade Runner's kicked Craig out of the top 5. He's going to now be side by side with the 3 for the 4th spot. Keshiel's around Heflin for second. Here comes Blade Runner going to try and take third from Heflin. Meanwhile, Willard continues to lead, but here comes Alana Keshiel now. She looks to the inside. Coming off 4, they'll be side by side. 20 laps to go at the line. And apparently my ticker's cut off for the lap count. That is supposed to say lap 101 of 120. I'll need to fix that for the future, for any future races. Now Blade Runner's going to try and get to the inside of Willard. And we'll clear Willard. Here comes Crago now for third. Lamas, meanwhile, starting to try and make a charge back up towards the front. He's going to try and get inside Heflin. Here comes Crago now to the inside of Blade Runner. Keshiel still continues to lead. Looks like English has actually started to pass some people here with those slightly fresher tires. So it's now Keshiel to Crago to Hancock to Willard, who's side by side with Blade Runner. And now here comes the 48. He's going to try and follow his teammate around the 77. More cars between the 48 and the 92, the better. Now here comes Heflin. Looking to the inside of Blade Runner. Crago trying to hunt down the 23 up at the front, though. Can't quite get it going into 1 and 2, but we'll get side by side coming off the corner. Basically, anybody in like the top 7 or 8 here can potentially win this race still. That's how close this racing is. Here comes Hancock now to the inside for second. Now Hancock's going for the lead. Across the line, Crago has it. Willard takes third from Keshiel. Bishop around the 92 of Kiro. That's good news for Lamas in the fight for the championship. You know, we're not even to the midway point of the season, so really shouldn't be paying attention to that just yet. Meanwhile, Willard around Crago for second. Here comes Keshiel now to try and make it a podium. Now Lob is looking to the inside of Crago for fourth. And Kiro Twins now battling side by side for ninth. That could be big. Ooh, and Hancock's been passed for the lead again. Willard backs to the point. And I believe Lana Keshiel might have edged Hancock at the line for second. Of course, that's not for the finish of the race. That's just for leading lap 108 of 120. Lom is now side by side with Hancock for third. 10 to go. Next time by. Keshiel still tracking down that 24 car Willard. Crago now looking to the inside, trying to get back at Lamas for third place. With Hancock not too far behind. Further back, looks like Hunter Guerrero is trying to get back around the 98 of Bishop. At the front now, here comes Keshiel. She puts a bumper to the 24. Willard goes up the track. Keshiel side by side with Willard as they come down the back straightaway. Keshiel to the lead. Here comes Crago now for second on Willard. Nine laps to go. Who is going to win? I honestly couldn't tell you who's going to win out of this top five. Hancock battling Willard for third. He'll take the spot off the corner. It will leave the All-Star Motorsports teammates side by side. Keshiel with a little bit of a gap to Crago. 7.5 laps to go. Crago with a bigger cushion to Hancock than Keshiel has to him. Lamas all over the back bumper of the three, trying to take third spot away. Six laps to go for Keshiel. Can she hang on? Will Crago play spoiler and get back-to-back wins this season? Or can Hancock actually get back around Crago and try to get his first career win? Or second career win. I forget how many career wins he has. His first of 2023. Let's go with that. First win of 2023. He's going to try and get around Crago here. Lama's right behind him. Crago with the run on the high side, though. 5 laps to go. Seeing these guys side by side is all Keshiel needs to see. She's pulling away. Crago fighting hard on that outside lane, but it's not going to be enough. He's now side by side with Lamas as Hancock is clear of the 62. And Lamas easily clear of the 62 as well. Teammates side by side for fourth. Hancock's free to chase after the 23. But he's under fire from Lamas now for second. It'll be 3 to go at the line. Lamas clear of Hancock. Will he catch the 23? He has 2.5 laps to do it. Lamas has not won yet in the 2023 season. Lonnie Keshiel has not won, I think, ever. Lamas gets booted out of the way from the 77. They're side by side for second down the back straightaway. A lap and a half to go. That might be all Lonnie Keshiel needed. They're coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go at Nashville. Off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into 3. Craigo clears Lamas. Here comes Heflin trying to crack the top 5. But it's not going to be enough. Lonnie Keshiel is going to come across the line and win at Nashville Superspeedway. Blade Runner second, Craigo third. I believe Lamas managed to get just barely into the fourth, and I believe Heflin might have taken fifth. We'll have to see here. Yes, Heflin did take fifth. Lonnie Keshiel gets the win. Blade Runner second, Craigo third, Lamas, Heflin, Willard, Lonnie Kiro, Hancock, Hunter Kiro, and RJ Bishop rounds out the top 10. Great run for that 98 crew. Nomina in 11th. Great run for that team as well. Brett Kenningberg in 12th. Good recovery after running dismally throughout the first 3/4 of the race. Ryan Vaughn 13th. Great run for him. Stojanovic, good run for that 90 crew. Granger in 15th. Man, some drivers just fell off towards the end there. Echo Evans Ross there 28th. Richardson 29th after running much of the day in the top 20. Of course, Sean English could have been in the fight for the win here had he not had that issue. It was still unsure if it was a loose lug nut or just a tire going down and defective or something, but he will finish 36th, a lap down. Jason Williams 37th, 2 laps down. No retirees and no cautions. I believe that is the first caution-free race we've had this season. I could be wrong, though. So that concludes our 13th race of the season. Of course, next time out, I believe it is Pocono, if I recall correctly. Jason Williams' final race this season, as for further notice, because Theodore Cox is coming back to that 15 car at Orlando, which is the race after Pocono, race 15, or is it? Or is it? Never yet. Anyways, all I know is that Lonnie Keshiel is now a Cup Series winner. I think that's her first career win. I actually don't remember. Uh, anyways, but like I said, next race is at Pocono. Until then, thank you all so much for watching. As always, we'll see you at the next race. So long, everybody.